Welcome to Casa Grande Ruins National Monument, a National Park Service site located in Coolidge, Arizona. My name is Sarah Sutton, Casa Grande Ruins Education Coordinator.
And my name is Alicia Hayes, archaeologist and Chief of Resource Stewardship and Science and Facilities Management.
Our jobs are to help protect and preserve this sacred and amazing place for future generations to enjoy, and for visitors, students, and teachers just like you.
Casa Grande Ruins is located in southern Arizona, in the town of Coolidge, about an hour-long drive between Phoenix and Tucson. This site was put aside to protect the Casa Grande Great House, or Big House in Spanish, and called the Sivan Vaki by some of the descendant Native American communities. The monument protects the only remaining multi-story structure from a cultural period archaeologists call Hohokam. The Casa Grande and the many other prehistoric sites in the park were built by the ancestors of 6 Native American tribes that still live in the Southwest today. The 4 Adtham tribes of southern Arizona, the Accomal Adtham of the Gila River Indian community, the Tohono Adtham, the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community, the Akchin community, as well as the Hopi tribe of northern Arizona and the Pueblo of Zuni located in New Mexico, all have continuing oral traditions about ancestors that lived in these communities, and specifically at Casa Grande Ruins.
Your lesson for this week is lines of evidence in investigations. And the Casa Grande site has some pretty interesting examples of how different lines of evidence can come together to tell a story.
The Casa Grande Ruins site was part of a large irrigation community. The canal system diverted water from the Gila River from over 15 miles to the east to canals and farm fields south of the river. Can you imagine digging miles of canals without the aid of large machinery? All along this system, there were communities working together to manage irrigation water for farming. Approximately every 2 miles, there was a large community, and at the end of this long canal system was the largest community. Archaeologists call this large settlement at the end the Casa Grande Ruins community. We are here in the heart of that community. The number of communities involved and the length of the successful canals indicate that there must have been excellent organization with people who today we would label as engineers.
Why would they go through the trouble of engineering such a long canal? The ancestors of the Sonoran Desert people began to grow corn for food about 4,100 years ago. Irrigation canals followed about 500 years later. Here at the Casa Grande community, we believe people began to live together and grow crops about 1,500 years ago. Evidence suggests they were growing cotton for trade nearly 1,000 years ago.
Even though cotton is an important trade item, it requires lots of water and is generally grown by flooding fields. Cotton also requires a long time to germinate and grow before it can be harvested. As such, for much of the prehistory of the Southwest, cotton could only be grown in limited areas. The Casa Grande Ruins community was a prime cotton growing location. Artifacts like cotton seeds, spinning devices called spindle whorls, and finished textiles found at sites like Casa Grande are evidence of the importance of cotton. Archaeologists also look for clues in historical texts. For example, when Spanish priests visited the Casa Grande around 300 years ago, they noticed that local tribes grew an abundance of cotton they traded throughout the Southwest. The large canal infrastructure was the underpinning of this vibrant community and trade system. As the community grew and changed through time, the people would eventually build earthen buildings using the plentiful concrete-like calcium carbonate soils found in southern Arizona. The Casa Grande community is special, though, because of large structures that archaeologists call public architecture. Large mounds, ball courts, are found only at large important sites, and multi-story buildings at only a few of the largest communities. Through time, Compound A, where the Casa Grande, the Sivan Vaki, is located, was built. This large compound, over 400 feet long north to south and over 200 feet wide east to west, would become the center of the community. People were likely living in the compound for over 100 years when they began to build the last structure. The multi-story Casa Grande, the Sivan Vaki. We know this from a combination of radiocarbon dating, tree ring dating, from ceramic artifacts, and from oral traditions. Today, the Casa Grande is the only multi-story structure from the Holocom culture still standing. This 4-story structure was engineered with thick walls and the first floor intentionally filled in to provide for stability. On the second story, there were 5 rooms, a center room, and a room in each cardinal direction. A room in the north, a room in the south, a room in the east, and a room in the west. The third story repeated this pattern. Only the center room had a 4th story, known as the tower structure. There were 11 rooms in all.
From the center room, there was a door to the east and access to a parapet. This 4-story platform provided an elevated view of the mountains in the distance, work in the canals, and the fires and activity of other communities. From the inside of the 4th-story tower room, 11 round holes, deliberately designed during construction, align with the sun and different astronomical events at certain times of the year. 2 additional alignment windows can be found on the western exterior of the Great House. One of these windows aligns with the setting sun on June 22nd, the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. Due to its unusual size, astronomical portals, and a lack of household artifacts, we can confidently say that the Sivanvaki was, and is, a special, important community structure.
Today, the National Park Service preserves special places like the Casa Grande, the Sivanvaki, for future generations, and to tell the story of the people who lived here many hundreds of years ago. The people who lived here were not just surviving, they were flourishing. They had extensive knowledge of the natural world and of their environment. They were masters at engineering canals, farming, creating shell jewelry, and building multi-story structures, including the one before us, that has stood for over 750 years.
After teaching your students in the classroom, we invite you to come visit Casa Grande ruins and explore real-life lines of evidence firsthand. As you visit Casa Grande ruins and other archaeological sites, remember that these places not only protect the stories of the people who lived here in the past, they allow us to visit and experience this history today in the present. Join us at Casa Grande ruins and be a steward for preservation. Help us to protect these special places for future generations to come.